Here's your village's forecast from the VNN Weather Team, presented by Sunshine Air Conditioning and Electrical. Here's meteorologist Ashley Baylor. Thanks for watching meteorologist Ashley Baylor, presented by Sunshine Air Conditioning and Electrical.
All right, so searing, sizzling, steaming, scorching, sweltering, all of these are going to work, not only for your Friday, but going into the upcoming weekend and next week. I wish I could talk about a break from this searing heat and humidity, but I'm not going to, so brace yourselves for the 7-day forecast. That'll show you in just a little bit. Let's talk about your Friday. Let's just get you through Friday first. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-90s as we go into the afternoon, but of course with that high humidity, it'll feel anywhere between 106 to 110. Our only potential saving grace is as we go into the afternoon, we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms, and of course, as we know, those downpours temporarily cool the air. Doesn't do anything for the humidity, but at least brings down temperatures. We won't even have a breeze to talk about on Friday. Winds will be light and variable. Keep those fans and air conditioners going as we go through Friday night. We'll be under mainly clear skies. It's going to stay pretty muggy as temperatures drop down into the mid-70s. And for your Saturday, we're going to bring up the numbers ever so slightly. Highs are going to be right around 96 degrees. We'll have a heat index ranging anywhere between 108 to 112. Once again, there could be a spot thundershower going into the afternoon. It's not a great chance, but okay, the chance is there nonetheless. I think we need to think cool thoughts at this point. If you want to think about fall, if you want to think about football season, here's some good news. The start of college season is in only 13 days, and the official start of fall is only in 39 days. So we're inching closer, folks. We will get there. Now, let's talk about the temperature versus the heat index over the next few days. It would not surprise me if we did see a few extreme heat warnings pop up across Florida because, hey, it's not just us in the villages. We're sweating it out all across the Sunshine State. So for your Friday, temperatures are going to be right around 95 degrees. The heat index, as I said, averaging around 107. But the numbers go up as we go through Saturday, Sunday, on into Monday. Highs are eventually going to be right around 97 degrees if you average in a dew point around 75. That puts the heat index around 110. Although, again, that dew point can fluctuate between the morning and afternoon hours. So really, that heat index could range anywhere between 108 to 112. So as we get into slightly hotter conditions, here's a few things I want you to be aware of. And one of them is the difference between heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. So signs of heat exhaustion, if you're out on the golf course, if you're out on the pickleball court and you start to feel faint or dizzy, if you really start to sweat excessively and get muscle cramps, these are all signs of heat exhaustion. So what you want to do, get into a cooler air-conditioned place if you can. Try to drink some water, or if it's at all possible, if you can get to a home where you can take a cool shower or use a cold compress, that would be ideal. Now, signs of heat stroke. If you get a throbbing headache, if you actually start to stop sweating, I know it sounds funny, but if you actually stop sweating and your skin is really hot to the touch, these are all signs of heat stroke, in which case you do want to call 911 and make sure that you get to emergency services as quickly as you can. All right, now let's move on and talk about the tropics. Subject matter we haven't had to talk about much, at least so far, going into this hurricane season. Now, Cristobal, out the rearview mirror. We don't care about Cristobal anymore, but we are focusing on these two systems that are making their way across the Atlantic Basin. This one highlighted in this red here, well, that one's going to really struggle because it's running into two things. Number one, it's running into wind shear, which is going to tear it apart and hinder its development. But also it's going to run into some Saharan dust, and so that will dry it out. So this one's really going to struggle to potentially become a tropical depression, might become a tropical storm. If it does, it will be given the name Dolly, but it is expected to run right across the Lesser Antilles as we go into the upcoming weekend and then possibly just continue on a westerly track. The next wave behind it has the potential to develop as well. At this point, as we take a look at the latest tracks on both of these systems, just so you can get an idea of what this looks like, this is called Invest 92L, so it's the first one I was talking about that'll move over the Lesser Antilles going into the weekend and then continue on a due westerly track. But Invest 94, and again, this has the potential to change, may actually head towards the Lesser Antilles, might start to take a turn towards the north, but once again, that is going to run into the same issues. It's potentially going to run into some wind shear, which will hinder its development, and it's going to run into some dry Saharan dust. So yes, the tropics are waking up a little bit, but they're running into the issues that we had anticipated, which is why we do expect a relatively quiet Atlantic hurricane season. When it comes to the dust, when it comes to the wind shear, all good things actually. All right, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, let's just try and get through this week. And again, think cooler thoughts, think football season. Now, as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, temperatures are going to hover right around 97 degrees. Maybe we'll drop to about 96 by the time we get to next Wednesday and Thursday. But even look at the overnight temperatures. Overnight lows only in the upper 70s. So those fans and air conditioners are going to be going full blast. So on days like this, of course, watch for signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. But what you can do to help yourselves is really making sure you're staying well hydrated, wear loose, light-colored clothes that will reflect the sunshine, and also reducing that strenuous outdoor activity. I know we like to be on the golf course, we like to be on the pickleball court, we like to be taking those bike rides, but if you can try and do that before 10 o'clock or wait until after 6 when it cools down, that will definitely help you out. And let's watch the puppy paws when we're walking them too. All right, in the meantime, you can check out our latest forecast updates right here on VNN. Tune your radio to WVLG, and of course, you can check us out in the Village's Daily Sun.
Thanks for watching Meteorologist Ashley Baylor, presented by Sunshine Air Conditioning and Electrical.